Good evening, friends. We'll start the session this evening in a couple of minutes. Waiting for some more friends and colleagues to join in. All right. I'm the CEO of the automotive business at Mahindra. Many of you all know that this is a series we've been now running through the month of July. But for those who've connected in for the first time, we are running the whole series around the Mahindra Classic Tales. We started off with a conversation between Hormuz and Dr. Pawan Goenka. Then we had one between Siddharth Patankar and Mr. Rajesh Jajurikar. And then I had a session a couple of days back with Bertie. And today we are having the next session with a very, very famous person from the automobile industry. But before I introduce him, for those who've logged in for the first time, normally when you saw the invite of what's going to happen today, you would have expected Adil to interview me. But what we are doing as a part of the series is reverse journalism. And today I'm going to be talking to Adil about some of his wonderful experiences with the Mahindras. So a little bit about Adil needs no introduction. He's been in the industry for many, many, many years. I've known Adil now for about 20 years. So while Adil comes in, the whole objective of today's conversation with Adil, and yes, there he is. Hi, Adil. How are
Hi,
you?
hi, hi. How are you doing, Vivek? Vijay? All good?
Well, all well, Adil. How's life in lockdown in Pune at home?
Yeah, locked down, locked in, and locked out. Everything.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the new normal, you know. It's the new normal.
yeah. True, very true, Adil. Very true.
And I think the
So,
only way we can escape this is to get the new babies from Mahindras and go off the road.
Adil, I think we will
Hmm.
wait. We will wait for that towards the latter part of today's
Yeah.
conversation, when I'm going to
Okay.
conclude by Adil, would you want to ask me something? And this is going to be the question you're going to ask me.
Okay. Okay.
I think we'll wait for that. So, Adil, thank you
Right.
so much for being of
Not. Uh,
conversation.
it's my pleasure. It's my
And
pleasure.
Adil, let's begin. As you know, the whole series of
Hmm.
conversation is talking about Mahindra
True.
classics over legends that we've created over the last
Yes.
7 decades.
Yeah.
So, given that you are a historian, you're an author, you've been so closely associated with the Mahindra products, and just for the benefit of all the viewers, Adil has been very kind, and he's working with us to put together a collection, a book, which is a collection of the whole series and the story behind the creation of the classics by Mahindra. So, Adil, let's begin by taking you back down memory lane to your early days of life. Do you want to share with us what are some of your first memories that you've had romancing the Mahindra?
Uh, I will let you in on a secret. There were two cars with which I learned driving. The Hillman Minx of my dad and Mahindra CJ4, which was there. So yes, I got the best of both worlds. The rough and tough world with the CJ and the Minx with the column shift. So I got a grounding of both the four on the floor and four on the tree as well, you know. So, and honestly speaking, I must tell you that when I went to Delhi for the Himalayan rally, the second Himalayan rally in 1981. I flew to Delhi for the rally because I was a press officer there. But while coming back, the Himalayan rally guys had forgotten to book my air ticket. So they gave me the jeep and said, drive it back to Bombay. And in those days, we didn't have any expressway or anything. It was a tiresome journey, but thoroughly enjoyable. At that time, we had lack of common sense, a lot of josh, and we really loved it.
That's a nice way of putting it. So tell us a little bit about that Josh, Adil. Tell us how did you push the Mahindra vehicles in your initial.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. India, if you are going to see motoring at that time, India was blessed with three cars, one SUV, four motorcycles, two scooters, and whatnot. So, what we are blessed with today, we are actually suffering from riches right now. But just the thought that we could get behind the wheel of any of those three cars or the thing was terrific for us. So in that sort of sense, you never look a gift horse in the mouth. So when they said take the car and drive it down from Delhi to Bombay and through the Chambal, mind you, and single-handedly, so it was an adventure by itself. I think the Mahindra adventure came much later. We did the adventure much earlier.
True, very true. Adil, I mean, it's unbelievable talking about driving through alone. You actually did that journey all alone, huh? With
All
no one.
alone, yes. No one, no one. All alone. 1981. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and as you said, there were no expressways, there were no great roads in those days.
No mobile phones.
Yeah. So imagine, I mean, you so it in a sense, and of course, I'm not that I'm the vehicles really lived up to the expectation of taking a person through safely tough, rugged terrains without a glitch right through. I mean,
Yeah,
your
no, one of the good things about that drive was I had a petrol engine Jeep at that time. At that time, the diesels which you had were very agricultural, so to speak, with that direct injection engines and all that. They serve their purpose, but when you go to a rally, you at least want some oomph with you. So in that sense, I was blessed. But the Hurricane engine was a gas guzzler. She would give you about 5 to 6 kilometers a liter, but that was okay. The sheer thought that we could go across and traverse quickly from dhaba to dhaba, virtually speaking. That was how we did that thing. It took me about I think 30 hours to come to Bombay from Delhi, but that's how we did it.
That's not bad with no roads. You
Yeah,
managed to do.
yes. The car was lightly loaded. It was just me and my satchel bag.
But lovely, commendable, absolutely commendable.
Yeah,
And of course,
yeah.
Adil, we've come a long, long way from then to now in terms
Oh
of
yes,
from gas guzzlers and DI engines to state-of-the-art technology in the
sure.
vehicles.
No, if
So,
you care to think, just a minute, bear with me. If you care to think about it, in what Mahindra has got right now and what it had then are chalk and cheese. Okay.
of course,
The fact of the matter is that we were a socialist economy for a long time. We had still 81, we had still not opened up. We were opening up from 83, 84 onwards. But so Mahindra always knew how to get things done very smartly using ingenuity and quick fix. And in fact, uh, given that its lineage comes from the Jeep, the amount of innovation Mahindras did with the Jeep themselves have not done.
true, true. Thanks so much for that, Adil. Adil,
Hmm.
as you rightly said that in those days, the Great Escapes came much later. So
Much later.
I recollect, I recollect many of the Great Escapes where I have, kind of met you, interacted with you. Of course, you're a veteran, you're a senior.
You make
I
me sound old here. You make me sound old. I'm only 63 years young.
absolute by you're very
Uh,
hard, but you're a veteran by
hmm.
knowledge.
Okay, I'll accept
Adil,
that grudgingly.
Tell us a little. Tell us a little bit about your passion and the excursions that you did. Any fond memories in terms of great escapes? Any anecdotes that you remember where you truly
Yeah,
tested what?
the very first great escape was held in Lonavala,
Hmm.
uh, and I was very thankful to three people in that. Behram Dabur was one, the
Oh, of
spiritual
course.
father of the Thar, as you. Then Shrikant Karani, who coined the Great Escape at that time from Sportscraft. So they gave me a car, one of the Jeeps, short wheelbase Jeeps, with it had got a limited slip diff. And they said, Adil, you drive this car because everyone's going to get stuck. And it was such a marshy terrain that time. And thanks to the limited slip diff, I went through everything. I did not stall any. So maybe yes. And the car made me look good. I was not that proficient with four-wheel drive or anything at that time, but the car made me look good. And then I realized, how this vehicle, apart from giving so much joy to people like us who wanted to go and uh, experience the adventure, the sporting capabilities, it was a vehicle which, as I was writing this book and I'm doing the book, we found it to be also a nation builder. India didn't have roads after independence. There was no public transport, so to speak. Buses could not go everywhere. So what went everywhere? It was just the Mahindra CJ vehicles which went everywhere.
True, true, true.
So in
So,
that sort of sense, it really suddenly lit a lot of bulbs in the mind and said, okay, look at it from that perspective as well.
true. So, Adil, I mean,
Hmm.
it's a great point you made that
Hmm.
Mahindra has played an integral part of the development of the nation. And you're right, it was with the CJ. But then,
Hmm.
as you know, from CJ we moved to MM. From MM came the we had the classic. Then from the
You, you,
classic we had the
you
Smart.
from the MM you had the Armada, the Grand Armada, the Bolero, the Scorpio, and so many others. Do you have a clue how many models have you ever what you call made in your life in Mahindras, Vijay?
I, I knew you're going to do this reverse quiz. I, I, so you will be better equipped to answer that question.
Up till now, as we are going, we have got 43 distinct models which Mahindra made from
Hmm.
1954 to the present. I'm talking 1954 because that is when you started the assembly per se. Otherwise, you were just importing and doing that. So, so 43 fully based models, and then millions of derivatives of those. So the variations go around into many more. So that is really something which I don't think any other company in the country can say or tell that we had it in our armory that way.
Agreed. So, Adil, this is a good point. I'm going through some of the comments and questions.
Yeah.
Sir, when is the Thar launching? Sir, the new Thar. Okay, guys, we will come to that a little later. Some lovely comments. Old is gold. Hi, Adil. Nice to see you. Uh, yeah, someone's written the CL 550 Major is an all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Adil, any around that? Do you want to talk around
Yeah,
Major?
yeah, yeah. I can tell you one thing. It's good that this person has said about the CL 550, and I presume that he is looking and talking about the Isuzu petrol engine vehicle which was made there. And
Right.
this vehicle has become an iconic vehicle amongst Mahindra users in the 90s to the present time across all this. Anyone who hunts for such a vehicle is never going to sell it off unless and until it's of some extraneous circumstances dictate that. I would narrate one incident about this vehicle. I had gone to the Punjab in the month of February, late February. I had gone there for the research for the book, and I met Mr. Manpreet Singh Badal, the finance minister of Punjab, a
Yes.
very polished character, a real intelligent sort, whose passion is also history, whose passion is also about military stuff, whose passion is also cars and jeeps. And he has not one, not two, not three, but four of these 550s with him with the Isuzu engine. And he said, Adil, come with me, I'll take you for a drive. So he took me for a drive from Chandigarh. We went right up to the foothills of the Himalayas and came back. And he was really belting it. And I could see, and then he told me, one of the reasons about this car, why I like it, it's got a good turn of speed, it's got torque, but it's got very poor brakes. So I made one concession. I've removed the drum brakes and fitted this. Again, very, par for the course, so to speak. So when you have got such committed, dedicated, diehard enthusiasts who know what to get, what to ask, what can be squeezed out from the Jeep that way, the CL550 and all the MM550 versions are really something. A lot of enthusiasts, even till today, I'm actually surprised every time it goes. I suddenly found out there was a CL800M. I've not been able to decipher which is that vehicle because still now, but I got a leaflet of the Mahindra thing. So maybe if anyone is listening, they can brief me on that front.
So yeah, Adil, I remember when I joined Mahindra in the mid 90s, and that was really the era of the CL. At that time, we were kind of getting ready to bring in the Armada. Then I saw the Armada, Armada Grand. Then came the Bolero. So
Bolero.
And then Thar came in later, and we'll come to Thar. I know everybody is still writing so much about Thar. Another interesting one someone's put up here is, sir, I own the 1995 Armada. Will Mahindra launch a new Armada? So,
Kaushal, good question. Very good question.
Thank you for asking that question, Kaushal. I will take that input. I will take that input for now as a suggestion from you. Adil, yeah, MM800, you're right. Somebody's commented on that saying, what about the MM800? Okay, Adil, before we shift gears to Thar, wanted to ask you a specific question. If you have to pick a classic Mahindra vehicle for your own use, all right, one, would it be the CJ3B, CJ340, MM540, MM550, Classic, Bolero, 4x4 or Thar?
None of them is there in my listing. There was a CJ3A. Very few were built in India. And I have got one under restoration right now. So that came with the Go Devil petrol engine, the CJ3B, which is the high bonneted one which Mahindra started making, came with the Hurricane engine. So yes, so my car from that family would be the CJ3A. But keeping that aside, if I really wanted something, I'd go in for the 550,
Okay, I'm seeing some people write in here, say Thar, and only Thar. Adil, tell us a little bit about what you're refurbishing. That's very interesting. So, is that the only one that you have in the collection, or do you have more vehicles in your collection?
No, I have. Okay, I have a 1949 Fiat 500 Topolino two-seater. It took me 12 years to restore that, and it went on to win at both the Cartier Concours d'Elegance as well as the 21 Gun Salute. Only the two events it took part in, it won both times. I've got a 1960 original Hindustan Ambassador, one owner. It's done 152,000 miles, and it's running like a dream. It also is a stunning example. It's a stunning example of how that firm devalued content, knocked off quality to end up. Thankfully, these sort of things didn't happen with a rugged vehicle like the CJ series from Mahindra, So this is something which is it's a commentary on the Indian automotive industry before liberalization. And then I've got a original 1984 Maruti 800. Yes, I also have got a 1964 Willys station wagon, same one which you used to make with the Hurricane petrol engine, but that's still to be to go in for restoration. Right now, the CJ3A is gone for restoration. It's an original 3A, with everything intact, including a brand new Go Devil engine, which I bought in Delhi about 2 years ago, in its own original case and everything.
Amazing. So it clearly shows to all the viewers. You can see when I said that we have a historian today for the show.
And,
You can
and if
clearly
you
see.
care to look at, and if you look at some of the model cars I've got behind, that is another passion of mine. I've got about 7,000 model cars and bikes in my collection. And that continues unabated. I've been doing collecting from 1972 onwards, so it just goes on and on.
7,000 of them, huh? I think
Only.
after the lockdown, Adil, I'm going to come over to your place and all these collections of
Please, yeah, you please tell me 2 days in advance. I'll have some padlocks put on properly. You're most welcome.
Asking what my favorite vehicle. Yeah. So I've been with this organization for 25 years, and I've seen a variety of products launched over the years. But even now, when I go for the Great Escapes, even now when I get an opportunity, for me, it's a tough one. It's a choice, and Adil, I mean, hats off to you.
Sure.
For your collection and the experience you had. I've got into off-roading only after I joined Mahindra, which was in the mid 90s. But
in India, you can go off-road anytime. In India, you can go off-road anytime with any vehicle.
True. So I think for me, it's a toss-up between Thar and Scorpio. Of course, still, I think Thar for me would be the number one up there. I just love the vehicle, its capability, ability. Even when we go on Great Escapes now, typically, given that I'm with the company and I'm, who I am in the organization, I'm normally given the AC Scorpio, but I any day would still want to take that open top, wind in the hair Thar and just go out there and have fun.
Because that is back to your roots. It is an absolute symbiotic link to where you started off from, or where the world started off from. And what you have done to capture that essence to this date, albeit with a diesel engine, but with a lot more, which was never thought of earlier. So when you have a vehicle like that, you are literally driving a legend,
Absolutely. Adil, you're getting a lot of applauses from Vikram for your 700. Wow, 700. What a collection. We've got Low Down Lee 814 saying, Adil, you have a lot of bikes as well. So
yes.
Adil, appreciating you for your collection. So that's great. Adil, let's shift gears as we come into towards the last part of the last section. Adil, tell me a bit about how do you see Thar and what's your experiences with the Thar? Because to us, that's the culmination of the classics. So any thoughts, any inputs, any experiences with Thar? Adil, you there? All right, guys, I think we have a little bit of a network issue. So let's give it a...
Okay. So my first thing about some years ago, maybe I think 10 years ago, when the SAE Baha competitions began, thanks to Dr. Goenka being the driving force to nurturing young talent from our colleges to go out and put up a great show with their engineering acumen, skills, etc. One person would hound me every time at Pithampur. For 2 years, he hounded me, and that was Behram Dabar. He would come with this prototype Thar, which he had built single-handedly with his team, and he said, in his choicest vocabulary, he would tell me, can you put some sense into these Mahindra management guys and tell them to get this vehicle going? No one wants to do anything with it. And then one day he said, Adil, you have to drive this car. So he just took me from the Baha competition and he went out to drive in the foothills there outside of Pithampur. and it was a revelation. It drove very well. It had got the right bits from 5, 6 models which were cobbled together, but as a package, it worked very well. And there lay its simplicity as well as its greatness. I don't know what happened, but finally, Behram struck gold, and the Mahindra management says, okay, let's get this Bawa off our back and let's put this in a little limited edition production across over there. I think that was the most inspired, what you call, sort of move which Mahindra did from the point of view of catering to a small niche segment.
Yeah.
You already had the classic, mind you. There was a classic beforehand, and that gave also a lot of fillip because but it was still not there. Whereas a Thar was quite an advance over there. And coming now to our present situation, like everyone is looking at mobility in a different manner. So what happens? Are we wanting to drive a commodity to go to work and back, or do we want to go to work and back with a smile? So every manufacturer will need a halo product to put the smiles on your face, to do the long commute back home and whatnot. I think Mahindra with the new Thar should address that aspect of things. This is the way how I look at it, you know.
Adil, I think very appropriately put, and that's exactly what we are intending to do with the new Thar. And again, there are a lot of questions coming exactly around that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, someone.
But actually speaking, it is worth it because. Go on, carry on.
Sorry, go ahead, Adil. Please go ahead.
No, so what I'm saying is, this is such an indicative aspect of things that there is so much of latent expectation in the thing for can we have a new vehicle which carries that lineage forward. Very important. They don't want a vehicle. They want a lineage which has got to be what you call carried forward. And you have to address that more than just making a vehicle. And that is where the true essence of this vehicle will lie, you know.
So Adil, I know when I'm going to turn this over to you, that's going to be your question. So let me ask my last question, and then I'm going to ask you me something, and I'll be happy to answer that.
Yeah.
So once lockdown opens, where do you want to go, and in which vehicle you would want to go?
I would love to go in the rainforest, you know, in Kerala.
Lovely.
Everyone and his grandmother has done Leh Ladakh, you know. Actually speaking, if everyone doesn't know, we went to Leh and Ladakh in the year 1986-87 on Luna mopeds when there were no roads, no dhabas, no petrol pumps. We were falling asleep on the bike because we did not do more than 30 kilometers per hour. So like I said, we were crazy, stupid, but we had a lot of joes. But so right now, and Leh Ladakh has been done to death, and now there are billiard smooth roads over there. Can we go to where there is something more in sync with what is vibrant India? I think our rainforests also are terrific. West Bengal remains a virgin territory for so many of us. No one wants to go to West, but West Bengal also has got tremendous history, tremendous terrain, Northeast. So I think your vehicle, and anyway, these are the places where your vehicles are a natural fit over there any which way. So if a new vehicle with more comfort, refinement, same capability, better performance, maybe makes me feel good with my wife as well. So it's very important that we try and do that, you know.
I get the drift, Adil. We will try and fulfill that wish of yours.
No. Correct.
All right. So before we conclude, anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, please, on behalf of the entire fraternity who they think that I am Mr. Mahindra, you know, and they ask me, Adil, when is the Thar coming? So let me, on behalf of everyone, ask you, when is the Thar coming, please? I'm only writing the book of what you do. I'm not I'm not making the car, you know.
Right. So Adil, I'm going to answer that in the best way that I can.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give the date of when the launch is.
Hmm.
I
I
think
hope
it
it's
will
in
be.
2020. I hope it's in 2020.
Yes, it is. So let me leave it.
Okay.
Let me leave the answer with firstly, for all the viewers, it's an absolutely stunning product. It
Hmm.
carries over the capability of what the Thar was, but it answers everything that you said in terms of comfort, the nuances, the features, and it can actually be an everyday vehicle plus an off-roading vehicle. And of course, we are going to make it available in multiple options, which will allow
Okay.
the enthusiasts to do what they want. The Thar enthusiasts, we know the kind of Thar clubs and the passion Thar has as a brand. And at the same
Hmm.
time, we also know that the millennials and there is a whole new segment of consumers who actually want to experience life in a very different way in terms of the getaways, and this product will do that too. Uh, and coming to the date of launch,
Hmm.
well, it's 2020. It's definitely let's put it this way: it's definitely in 2020, and the first launch that will now happen from Mahindra will be the Thar, and
Okay.
obviously because of COVID, there has been a little
True.
bit of back to the launch. I think we
Hmm.
all know to a new product, we need to get all the tool tryouts, everything done
Hmm.
thoroughly. The parts need to come
True.
up from the tool to the process, from the vendors, suppliers. So a little bit of that is has been a little bit of challenge, but we've caught up a lot of ground in the last month and a half. And
Okay.
yes, look up going to be around the corner, and that's going to be the next launch from Mahindra, which is going to be the truly well-deserved new category created SUV in the country.
Tell me one thing. Two questions. The Thar is going to be built at which facility? Kandivali, Nasik, Chakan, where?
Adil, why would you want to know that? How would it make a difference where it is made?
No, it's
I mean, a
it no,
Mahindra
it's not.
facility.
It's not because no, because I'm not saying because it's important that where the birthplace of the original. That is the only reason why is it being linked over there in that sort of manner.
So Adil, we'll hold on to that. I will. That's one of the things we will talk about at the launch. So
Okay. And the second question, and the second question, very importantly, how important is Thar in the complete uh, portfolio for Mahindra and also as a vehicle in the Indian automotive sense? That's both are very different. Automotive portfolio of Mahindra is one, and the overall automotive scene in the country is another.
So let me answer the first question. It probably in for us, it is
Hmm.
who Mahindra is. Thar Mahindra
Right.
DNA about who
Hmm.
we are.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, our the whole history of M&M originates, as we said, which evolved from the CJ to the 550, leading into the Thar. So it is
Hmm.
probably the most critical product and brand from the point of view of Mahindra as an organization. Uh, we believe this is going to be one of the brands that's really going to bring Mahindra back in terms of visibility, in terms of creating objects of desire, what we call. So it's extremely critical for us in our portfolio. As far as the nation is concerned, Adil, I think we all know the critical role Mahindra has played. The that whole series of vehicles have been integral with the army, with the armed forces, with the
Sure.
police, uh, with,
Absolutely.
with various stakeholders in the country that have served the nation. And we believe that now with this Thar that we bring in, we will again go back to create a whole new, portfolio or a series of products on Thar, which will become again very, very integral to the nation. So I think whether it's the country, whether it's Mahindra, Thar will be the iconic brand for everyone.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Look forward to
Thank you.
getting behind the wheel as soon as possible because I have to get
Absolutely.
behind the wheel to write for the book, you know.
Yeah, Adil. We're all excited. We are all waiting. when we get that opportunity to bring that product to market. Wanted to take this opportunity
Right.
again to thank you so much for being with us, Adil, and a big
No,
thank you to all
it's
the
been a
viewers
pleasure. It's been a
watching it.
pleasure.
Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you,
stay
guys.
safe. And Adil, see you soon. Take care.
See you. Bye.